LabH1 double replacement precipitation types. There's a lot of information that you want to read in this preview or introduction, which will help you with the questions on page 4. In this lab, we will be combining 4 solutions against 3 solutions. Take note that these 4 solutions are all alkali anion, and these 3 solutions are all cation nitrates. And so let's move on to the data collection page. And you should not write these names here, but instead pay attention, write only the symbol and charge for the anions along the side. So we don't care about the potassium, but only the phosphate, so you should be writing PO4 with a 3- charge. Whereas along the top of the data table, only the symbol and charge for the cations. So again, you should not be writing silver nitrate, but again, crossing off the nitrate, you should only be writing the silver ions and the cobalt 2 ions and the copper 2 ions. This is really important and should lead you to paying attention to question 13, why we didn't bother to mix solutions 1, 2, 3, or 4 with each other, and why we did not bother to combine solutions A, B, or C with each other. Okay, this is LabH1 double replacement reaction precipitation types. Pause the video and take a look at the lineup of the solutions, same as on your lab sheet. And the third column will be copper nitrate solution. The middle column will be cobalt nitrate, 4 of them lined up, and the first column will be silver nitrate solutions. And so you can see in fast motion putting a few drops of each. You should be watching this video while looking at your lab sheet because it is arranged the same way as your data table. Phosphate first, added into the silver, getting a yellow-brown precipitate, and now phosphate ions added to the cobalt, a bluish-whitish precipitate, and phosphate ions added into the copper ions, also a cloudy precipitate. Now hydroxide added into the silver, producing a brown precipitate, into the cobalt, a blue precipitate again, and into the copper, the hydroxide will also a little more vibrant blue precipitate. Now the iodide ions, and the iodide added to the silver will produce a cream yellow precipitate. Not too much appearing up with the cobalt, and now a brown precipitate with the copper ions. And lastly, carbonate ions added into silver, producing a white precipitate, into cobalt, producing a pink purple, and lastly into the copper, producing another blue precipitate. Be sure and pause the video if necessary to record data, sometimes a better view with a black background, and now a close-up view of the phosphate and hydroxide rows, and now finish off with a close-up view of the iodide and carbonate rows.